but there's no value really in going and watching her. So what she did is she's gotten a couple of rappers, and they fill up the place. But what she does is a little bit different. She has them go last. That's smart. I give. So in other words, they want her to finish her speech, get the hell off the stage, and then they can listen to the rap.
Performance starts.
No, it's pretty.
It's kind of smart.
Hillary didn't. No, I give her credit.
Yeah, give it to her a little bit.
Hillary never figured that out. She'd get some star, and the star would fill up the place, and then the star would leave, they would leave, everybody would leave, and she's talking to an empty stadium. Anyway, this is a little better idea.
Yeah, I wanna move on to the fun stuff now. I think we've definitely talked on some ideas and policies, excuse me. But I want to move on to the fun stuff because you are a fun guy. I've heard a lot from a lot of people how cool you are. Especially Dana. Shout out to Dana. I know you're watching.
Dana.
Yeah, he's the
There's
greatest.
nobody like him. I always say everybody can be replaced except Dana. Because this guy travels the world looking for fighters, okay? Get me fighters. He doesn't care where they from countries nobody ever heard of. And that's where he finds the best fighters. Now, he cannot be replaced. He's truly great at what he does.
He's the coolest. I know you're a UFC fan, right?
I am.
Who are like your favorite fighters?
Well, I think Khabib, how good is Khabib? Do you know who Khabib is?
Of course I know who Khabib is.
Khabib was 29, 28 and 0, and then his father died and he stopped. But I think he never lost. I don't think he ever lost a round. He fought many times. He never lost like a round. And I thought he was I got to meet him at a fight 2 fights ago, because I walk in with Dana. Sometimes I do this walk in, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's where I first met you.
Yeah, that's right. Come to that.
Yeah.
If I didn't get any applause, you wouldn't want me on this show. You'd say, forget it. No, we get big applause. We walk in together.
It's crazy. You shut it down.
No, I met Khabib though, and he was very. He came to me and he said, "You're the man that can stop the war," because he's talking about the war with Ukraine, Russia.
Of course.
Because he knows they're his people. On both sides, right? There's so many people dying in that war, and the whole culture is being destroyed. The cities are coming down; they're just pouring bombs in, and it was amazing. We weren't talking about fighting; we were talking about a different kind of fighting, a much worse kind of fighting, and he was very concerned about that whole thing, that war. He said, "You can get it stopped, and I can get it stopped. I will have that stopped before I assume off. I will, if I win the election. The first thing I'm going to do is get Putin and get Zelensky, I know them both very well, and get them to make a deal, because it's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
It is, and it's like your rallies, the crowd, huh?
I know, I like this crowd. I think it's good. I like you people. You know what they are, though? They're people that want to see the country do well.
That's it.
It's people that they don't want to see crime.
Right.
They don't want to be mugged, because they're selfish in that respect. They prefer not being mugged, right? But they don't want other people to be mugged, beaten up, shot, and killed. In Chicago, on July 4th weekend, they had 117 people shot. Think of this, you live there. 117 people were shot, 17 died. This is in one weekend, July 4th weekend.
Wow.
Nobody wants that. If you're living in Chicago, you have a good chance of, something bad happening. When you're going to go buy a loaf of bread, and something really bad could happen. So we don't want to, and they don't want that. The people behind me, who I just met briefly, they're great, but they're like other people. People don't want crime. They don't want to go to wars. They want to be able to make money. They want to be able to have a good life. They want a great education. All the things that you want, just the basic things. And we don't have that now.
It's really sad, honestly.
Think of this, Israel, you're Jewish. Are you a fan of Israel?
Yeah.
It would have never happened. October 7th would have never happened if I was president. And everybody admits it. Iran was broke. They had no money. I wouldn't let anybody buy oil from Iran. As soon as Biden comes in, he didn't have a clue. He let everything happen. But Iran was totally broke. They had no money. And I wouldn't let them nobody. China, I said, you buy oil from Iran and you can't do business in the United States. They said, we'll pass. That's fine. But I did that with everybody. And we would have had a deal, 100% we would have had a deal, and there would have been no attack. There was no money left. Iran had no money. We would have made a deal. We would have made a fair deal for them. I would have loved to have made a fair deal. I'm not looking to, I just want them, they can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon. You cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. So what happens is we worked very hard on that, and then he comes in and he allows everybody to go. China now is buying millions, billions and billions of dollars worth of oil, and Iran now is a very rich country, and October 7th would have never happened. And it wouldn't happen because they didn't have the money to pay Hamas and Hezbollah and all of these, they call them instruments of terror, a lot of different names. And so October 7th would have never happened. The recent attack on the park would have never happened. That was so graphic and so, normally you don't see that. Normally the media cuts it off, but they didn't have time to cut it off because it was during the day, very public. And you'd see children with their legs cut off. Those initial scenes were so horrible, where a rocket landed in a little soccer field. Just terrible. All of that stuff would have never happened. And we'll get it stopped fast, by the way. We'll get it stopped fast. There's no games.
Well,
that was like a booby trap. I walk in and she starts saying, "We got to start a meeting." She didn't say, "Oh, thank you very much for being here."
No.
Just like the worst. And frankly, if I owned that network, I would fire her so fast. It was so inappropriate. And I actually, once you sort of walk out, then you put the guard up, and you actually give less information than what you would have if they did it with sugar, right? But she doesn't know about sugar, that one. That was sort of terrible. It became viral, #1 viral.
Yeah.
And it was the question, it was viral. Mm-hmm. I think my answers were sort of good.
They were really good.
I think they considered to be, I can't brag, but they were considered to be very good. But the level of hatred and craziness, and you don't know, is that from the head of the network or is that from her? But ABC, I've said for a long time, ABC is one, you have George Slopadopoulos, I don't know if you've ever interviews Biden. I said, there's no way that Biden can handle this guy if the guy is like normal,
right,
like he normally is.
Yeah.
He was so nice to Biden. He asked him and then when Biden couldn't answer, which he can't answer most of the questions because he has no clue where he is, Slopadopoulos is giving him the answers. He's giving the question. And isn't it true that you really don't want to see war? Isn't that true? Yeah. No, the whole thing is crazy. Anyway.
I want to real quick talk about one thing. It was super important to me when I saw it. Censorship. I don't know if you saw what Elon had posted. Elon basically showed, if you were to Google Donald Trump about a week ago, all you see is Kamala. That's all you see is Kamala. It's crazy. Google was really, really trying to push her.
So Google is really crooked. It's horrible when they had the word assassination up because, there was a big moment a few weeks ago where I got whacked. I got whacked. And whether it's me or anybody else, it was a terrible thing. Terrible thing. For our country, it was terrible for everything. And when you put up the name, the word assassination, it went to Lincoln, It went to many other people, many of whom I didn't even know there was an attempted assassination. The only one it didn't have was Trump. Think of it. And when you put up the word assassination, it also sent you to Kamala. And people were really angry at it. Look, something wrong with Google. I don't know if it's the people running it inside or the smaller people, so to speak, the people that are actually doing the nuts and bolts. I doubt it. It's got to come from the top. And it's so illegitimate. They have to do something about it. And I mean, the market speaks. Everybody should maybe just go off Google, not use it. There are so many other things. Watch your show instead. But there are so many things. Now, Mark Zuckerberg called me, and he apologized. They actually had it where, AI, they actually had the Secret Service agent shot at. There were 8 shots. And as soon as they heard that first, when you hear bullets, you tend to drop to the floor if you're intelligent.
Of course.
If you're not intelligent, like, I don't think Joe would have dropped to the floor. I think it's...
No, I think you would have just been like, what's going on?
What's happening?
What is that?
Where are those bullets?
Is that a bird?
Oh, there they are. There they
Yeah.
are. No, I don't think he would have dropped to the floor.
Right.
But anyway, it's when you hear this and when you see what's going on, and he called up, and there's a very iconic picture that was taken. But there's a number of them, actually. But there's one in particular that was very iconic, and it's been on the covers with the fists up. And the secret agents, service agents, and I know they're going through a little bit of a questioning period. Let me tell you, these people were brave because those bullets were coming at me, and I heard them. They were whizzing over my head. I had the one here, and I went down, and they were whizzing over, and I had 7 people, maybe, a lot of people, a lot of very big people on top of me within seconds.
Right.
And a lot of people that I know would not have done that. Aiden, I'm telling you, when bullets are coming right over you, and you got people willing to, I asked a couple of them, they expected to die. They actually expected to die, and I understood that.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened that was amazing is within 5 seconds, the sniper, the Secret Service sniper, from a much further distance, 1 bullet, and didn't know about it. Now, it was a communication problem, a big one, and had it taken place, 10 seconds earlier, would have been good. But there was a communications problem. But he, supposedly, I don't think he knew. I mean, I've gone through it too. I don't think the sniper knew anything about it. He may have heard there could be a problem, but he didn't know anything about it. Think of it. A thing like that happens. He went by the gun and the fire of the gun. And I guess when the bullets come out, you see fire. And he was able to see that from probably more than 300 yards away. So that's 3 football fields. That's a lot. And 1 bullet took him out. And if he didn't shoot him, you would have had probably a lot of people dead.
Right.
Probably a lot of people would have been dead. He had a lot of bullets up there. He had a powerful gun, and he had a lot of bullets up there. And the reason he stopped was he got hit 5 seconds That's a pretty amazing job when you think, it's sort of a surreal experience. Right?
Yeah.
And you could say that for them too. And they go years and they don't have to do that. They don't have to shoot people. And then all of a sudden they're confronted and they see somebody firing. And a lot of people wouldn't react like that. They would. Whenever a bullet's fired, everybody empties out immediately. They immediately leave and they empty out the whole stadium, and they call it a stampede, like in cattle.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get killed with stampedes. They get literally
Stomped
walked
over,
They
yeah.
get many people die in soccer stadiums. But when a bullet goes off, everyone leaves, almost every time.
Yeah.
Nobody left, and you had the man behind me. He's looking like this. He's looking. There was no fear. It was amazing. They knew that I was in trouble. They saw that. They saw the blood, because the blood, I guess you get hit in the ear. I can tell you, a lot of blood when you get hit in the ear. That's one thing we learn. We learn all these things, unfortunately. But they saw there was a big problem. Normally, when they hear that, they're all, they disperse. Nobody left. I mean, you take a look at that. Now, that was a microcosm of what was out in front of me, because the speech was being made
Yeah.
to thousands of people.
Right.
And nobody there was leaving either. It was really amazing. They knew there was a problem. And when I got up, they were confused because Secret Service was lifting me. I guess I was getting up, and I'm looking for my shoes. I didn't want to go on they had stretchers and stuff. I didn't want to go on stretchers. I didn't want to do that. But confused because you could be up, but you're not looking too good. And I felt it was important to let people know, in a true sense, that our country was okay. And the audience was just, they were, I mean, USA, it was
Yeah.
wild. It was a hell of a horrible experience, but I learned a lot about the love in this country. Think of it. A bullet goes off, everyone leaves, and his bullets going off. They just,
Again, a true hero.
they were heroes. The way to watch They say he's the son of Fidel Castro. And could be. I mean, anything's possible in this world, you know? You're going to learn as you get older. You've seen a lot already for your age. Per age, I would say. Per year spent, you've seen as much as anybody. But Justin Trudeau is, I get along with him very well, actually. But he seems to be going very progressive, and the people of Canada are not liking it. I mean, if they had a good conservative person, which maybe they do, maybe they don't, I don't know. But somebody song Rocket Man, and I actually played him the song Rocket Man. He said, no, I've never heard it. I said, you're Rocket Man. He said, no, you call me Little Rocket Man, not Rocket Man. But I tell you what, so we had a very nasty 2 months. People were actually worried about it because it could have been dangerous. But President Obama told me that this was the single biggest threat to the United States, was Kim Jong-un of North Korea. And one day I got a call from people that wanted to see me about him, and he wanted to meet. He did not want to meet with Obama, did not want to meet with anybody. Got tremendous nuclear capability. He does. And we've checked that closely, and he does. I got to know him very well, and I got along with him great. He's very smart. He's very strong. He's the absolute leader. You know, a lot of people say, oh, maybe he's not the leader. He's the absolute. When he's around, his people are standing up at attention. I've never seen. We were at a luncheon. They had 20 people on his side and 20 people on mine, you know, looking at each other.
Right.
In Singapore, we had a meeting in Singapore. It was the biggest press conference I've ever had. There were I think people said they've never seen anything like it. I was walking in, he was walking in. We met in the middle, remember? And
Yeah, of
the
course.
place just went crazy. But we got along very well. He's very, very smart. And, you know, he's a real power. He's a real power. I think he's upset that I'm not there. Nothing would have happened with him. We would have gotten along with him fine. I was trying to get him to do, you know, his country is, you talk about location. I'm a real estate guy. He's right between, think of this, Russia, China, one side, and South Korea on the other. I said, you have a great piece of real estate. You could make so much. You could have gorgeous things. I said to him, think about gorgeous condos going up on your shore. He's got a lot of ocean. He's got ocean frontage on both sides, right? But I got along with him great, and we would have had no problem with him. Now he's getting I think you're going to find that the number of people